What's up, family? Trail here, and today we need to discuss why McDonald's and President Biden are excited right now. Well, that is because they are both in the news for something good for a change, and Biden wants to claim his bragging rights. In addition, we have information about some special Thanksgiving checks that are going out right now in one particular state, and these checks could be worth $600 per household. And lastly, we have some changes about the way we test for COVID-19, as well as we may be forced to start paying hundreds of dollars for future COVID vaccines. I've got the details to share with you today in this video, but before we get started, hey, you already know what to do. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, as well as hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now let's start with the video. Well, guys, President Biden is pretty excited right now, and he wants to claim his bragging rights. And that is because last year in 2021, the federal deficit was cut in half by the Treasury Department under the Biden administration. So yes, guys, he definitely wants to claim his particular bragging rights because of this huge news, because the new numbers from the Treasury came out on Friday, which gives the Biden administration something to brag about, because the federal budget shortfall was chopped in half in the last fiscal year. Now, the federal outlays were $6.3 trillion, down more than 8% from the previous year. And that drop largely reflects the end of COVID-related government programs, like topped off with unemployment benefits. Now, the cost of Biden's student loan forgiveness program, however, caused the deficit for the month of September alone to spike to $430 billion, up from the previous $65 billion that was in September of 2021. But anyways, meanwhile, the government revenues rose by $850 billion to around $4.9 trillion. That rise is due in part to higher individual income taxes on the back of a strong labor market and strong wage gains for workers in the United States. So yes, guys, President Biden is in the news right now, and he is very excited because the deficit was cut in half by the Biden administration. However, it is pretty much all related to COVID-19 being completely over. But again, guys, hey, President Biden is not the only one in the news right now. And also we have McDonald's is in the news, and that is because the McRib is coming back again. Yes, guys, I know you guys have tried it before, but you might not eat it anymore like myself. But yes, one of McDonald's favorite entrees, which is a sandwich, a McRib sandwich, is actually coming back. But the bad news is that it's only coming back one more time. Yes, they are having a farewell tour in regards to the McRib. This could be your last bite. So yes, guys, I took my last bite about 3 years ago, but McDonald's barbecue sandwich, the McRib, is on its way back to restaurants for what the fast food chain is calling its farewell tour. Now, October has been a big month for McDonald's with its cactus plant flea market adult kids meals. I know you guys have heard about that, but also they are having the return of Halloween buckets, as well as the launch of a test with Krispy Kreme, you know, the donuts. And now the chain's pork sandwich is making a Halloween comeback. Yes, guys, this is going to be officially called the McRib Return of 2022. So yes, guys, this particular sandwich is coming back. So this could be your last time. So if you really love McRibs, you might want to buy several of them and try to just freeze them so that you can have them over the next following year. They might actually be able to sell for more than what they actually cost you, considering how we do things here in this particular economy. So again, guys, can you imagine buying a McRib or selling a McRib on eBay for $300? Hey guys, you better quote me on this. But anyways, guys, yeah, McDonald's and President Biden is in the news for some great things that are going on with them. But moving on, guys, hey, we do have some information in regards to COVID and how we test for the particular symptoms and related to COVID. Yes, according to this article, it talks about the main COVID symptoms have actually changed according to the latest research. Now, it says that since the start of COVID-19 pandemic, patients have reported dozens of different symptoms ranging from a cold and flu-like symptoms to more unique ones, such as losing your taste in your mouth. Yes, guys, but like all viruses, the primary symptoms associated with COVID have changed and can vary based on your vaccination status, according to a new list that was released last week. Now, the Zoe Health Study, which is a joint effort by researchers at Massachusetts General Hospital, said that the updated list on the top COVID symptoms currently being reported by its participants. They have that information in this particular research. And yes, researchers have found that for participants in all three groups, fully vaccinated, those who will receive one dose, and those have been unvaccinated, 4 of the 5 or most commonly reported symptoms are actually the same, and they are sore throat, runny nose, persistent cough, and a headache. Now, their prevalences across the groups, however, vary, as does the 5th symptom. And for those who are vaccinated, a blocked nose in the 3rd most frequently reported symptom thus far. Among the partially vaccinated, it's sneezing, and the unvaccinated is having a fever. And yes, guys, below are the symptoms most commonly reported among the 3 groups, ranked in order of how often they actually are reported. And as you can see on this list, guys, this particular first column is fully vaccinated. These are the 5 symptoms. And then we have partially vaccinated. These are the 5 symptoms. And then we have those individuals that just refuse to get vaccinated altogether, which is perfectly fine. But yes, these are the 5 symptoms that they pretty much get when they actually have been tested for COVID. But again, guys, yes, like they said, these particular things are continuously changing as we get new variants, as well as we get new vaccines, as well as we get individuals that have or have not been vaccinated. So, guys, you just have to be mindful of all these particular symptoms in case you get any of them. And I believe that they are still saying that if you have 2 or more of these particular symptoms, you definitely want to be mindful that you probably have been infected with COVID-19. But anyways, guys, we also want to talk about these particular workers that were actually fired previously in New York because they just refused to get vaccinated from the COVID vaccination. And yes, here recently, guys, because of the change in whether these particular vaccines are actually working or not, yes, a judge in New York is now ordering this particular company to reinstate those particular workers that were fired for not complying with the COVID vaccine. Yes, guys, this is probably going to be happening more often because if you guys don't recall, back in 2020 as well as 2021, there were a lot of people that were pretty much fired from their jobs because they just refused to get vaccinated, especially as those particular companies were calling those employees to come back into the office place if they were vaccinated. But those particular workers said that, look, we don't want to get vaccinated. We don't believe in vaccination. So therefore, you're just going to have to fire us. Well, here in the state of New York, yes, this particular judge is ordering for all those workers to be reinstated with their jobs once again. Now, I will say the biggest question is, will they actually get their tenure that they had before they were fired, or will they have to start over like a new employee? Yes, guys, we still don't know, but I would assume that those individuals that were paid out for their PTO hours, yes, they would probably have to start back from zero again. But anyways, guys, that is the latest on COVID. But we also want to talk about the Pfizer vaccines, guys. They are saying that Pfizer is planning on charging individuals between $110 up to $130 per dose for COVID vaccines. So yes, guys, I know the government has been paying for these over the past 2.5 years, but it looks like that particular contract is about to be over. And once that happens, if you still want to get your vaccinations, it is probably going to cost you hundreds of dollars to make that happen. So if you are on the fence line on whether or not you want to get vaccinated, you probably want to do that sooner rather than later, because you might be forced to pay for this out of your pocket. But anyways, guys, last but not least, we do have some information in regards to the attack on Capitol Hill that happened on January the 6th. Yes, here recently, guys, earlier this week and last week, we did receive some updated information on some individuals that actually were a part of the Capitol attack. Yes, we do have one man they are calling the Shelbyville man. He was recently sentenced to 5 years in regards to the Capitol breach. Yes, guys, his name was Mark Andrew Mazza, which he learned his punishment this past Friday in federal court as he pleaded guilty to assaulting and resisting or impeding officers with a dangerous weapon, as well as carrying a pistol without a license into the Capitol building. So yes, guys, he was sentenced to 5 years. That is crazy, guys. But then we have another individual that entered into Capitol Hill, in which this particular person was labeled as loudmouth. And as you can see right here on the picture, he is seen screaming. So I would assume that he went through the Capitol screaming the entire time. But anyways, guys, hey, he was just sentenced as well. But he was only sentenced to 4 years in federal prison. Yes, guys, this is crazy. His name was Matthew Bledsoe, and he was from Tennessee. And it said that where those are pieces of blank. Hey, he entered the U.S. Capitol and was convicted in a jury back in July after he failed to convince them that he was unaware that Congress was certifying the 2020 presidential election. So again, guys, yeah, this is still going on, guys. I know this happened over a year and a half ago, and it looks like individuals are still being sentenced and taken to court and sentenced to multiple years in federal prison. But anyways, guys, we do need to talk about some stimulus update news, and that is because we do have a special session of stimulus rebates that are on the way for those individuals that live in the state of Idaho. Yes, guys, it says right here that thousands of special session rebates are on the way to Idahoans. Yes, guys, it says that as of Friday morning, Governor Little accounted that over 452,000 special session rebates have been sent to Idaho taxpayers. According to the governor, that's over $212 million back into the pockets of Idahoans to help combat historic inflation. He continued his press conference by stating that with no solutions from the Biden administration on the economy, our special session made inflation relief a priority. We're giving back $500 million to taxpayers through our third round of rebate checks. And yes, by Thanksgiving, the state of Idaho is confident that most Idahoans who file their taxes on time will receive their stimulus rebate, with as many as 575,000 rebates out before the end of October. So yes, guys, you do want to be mindful of these particular rebate checks are on the way. Now, if you have direct deposit, you'll probably receive it that way. But if you don't, you're probably going to receive a stimulus check in the mail. And yes, guys, these particular checks and rebate checks are going to be going out anywhere between right now all the way through November. So again, guys, this is definitely some important information. And I do have some additional information for you Idahoans. And yes, guys, I know I'm probably saying that name wrong, but anyways, that doesn't matter, because the thing that matters right now is this information in regards to there is an online tool to track the status of your tax rebate from this particular 2022 special session Thanksgiving stimulus rebate check. And yes, guys, as you can see, the website is going to be active right now, and the website is tax.idaho.gov/rebate. If you click on that particular link, guys, you can find out exactly the information in regards to the status of your stimulus rebate check if you live in the state of Idaho. Now, I will include a link to that particular link right there down below in the description so that you can check it out and find out the information in regards to your information on your stimulus rebate check. And last but not least, guys, we also want to remind you that the expanded child tax credit is still available for some individuals that have yet to receive it this year or last year. Yes, guys, the deadline is around the corner. You have until the end of this year to file for this particular expanded child tax credit. And I believe that you can receive up to $3,600 per eligible child for this child tax credit. Now, it says right here that time is running out to claim the expanded child tax credit that could bring an eligible family as much as $3,600 per child under the age of 6 years old. Now, the child tax credit was significantly expanded in 2021 by the American Rescue Plan, so families could receive up to $3,600 per child under 6 years old and $3,000 for those children ages between 6 and 17 years old. But the changes were made for just 1 year and will be reduced back to $2,000 per child next year in 2023. Now, they're saying that most families who qualify didn't necessarily have to do anything to receive the tax credit payments because the IRS sent them directly to those who file their taxes if they were considered a taxpayer. But there are many other families who typically don't file income taxes, so the IRS doesn't really know anything about you and your family. And that is why they're saying right now you have until the end of this year to let the IRS know that you actually exist out there and you have yet to receive your child tax credit. This could be a lot of money in your pocket, guys, because think about it. If you have 3 children and you typically don't file a tax return, that could be more than $10,000 for you and your family. But again, guys, they're saying that we're trying to target these particular families who typically don't file income taxes for whatever reason. Their income is too low and they typically don't file. And yes, guys, for each dependent child under the age of 6 years old, families receive $3,600 in cash payments. And for children between 6 and 17, families will receive $3,000 cash payments. Guys, do not sleep on this money. It could be a pretty much life changer considering we are dealing with this inflation right now. So you definitely want to be mindful of that information and definitely want to contact the IRS and let them know that you are out there and you have yet to receive your child tax credit. But anyways, guys, I hope all this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. But feel free to check out some of the items down below if you want to support the channel because it really does help with me making more videos. And also, guys, these particular links down below can get you some free money, some free cash, as well as 12 free stocks. So be sure to check those out. Those links will be down below. But anyways, hey, if you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.